Joining us now, the founder and CEO of the firm Crowds on Demand, Adam Swart. It's a company that specializes in providing crowds at events, including protests. Adam, it's great to have you on. Thank you so much. We never heard of a company like yours. Thanks for joining us tonight. You say you turned down a $20 million offer to recruit and pay protesters against Trump. What proof can you show our viewers that that's really happened, and who made the offer?
Well, first of all, the reason why I turned it down is the same reason that Tom Hanks or George Clooney would turn down appearing in a Marvel superhero movie. It's just they don't want to attach their name to something that ultimately is not going to be successful. Unfortunately, Crowds on Demand, we've been around for 13 years now. We're the largest protest company in the country. We did not feel that this particular day of action was going to be impactful for the cause that they seek to espouse. So we unfortunately had to decline.
So what proof that they tried to pay you? Who exactly is paying you to recruit protesters against Trump? What are their names?
Well, sure. I mean, first of all, I wouldn't be in business for 13 years if I told people, everyone who came to us with a cause that I disagreed with or that I didn't think was going to be effective. So obviously, I would have to politely decline to reveal the information about who is contacting us.
Is it a far-left billionaire? Is it a far-left billionaire or nonprofit? Are they recognizable Democrat names?
Well, sure. I mean, I think it would be someone that people would recognize as being well-heeled interests. I would leave it at that.
Is it George Soros's group?
Well, look, here's my sense on Soros. A lot of people are working for Soros who don't even know they're working for Soros, because same with a lot of other billionaires, because what they have is what's called a Russian doll influence network. So that's little dolls that fold into bigger dolls. So you could be working with a lot of billionaires, either conservative or liberal, without even knowing it, because they have a network of advocacy groups, foundations, C4s, and corporations.
So you've worked with them. You've worked with these groups in the past. Is that what you're saying?
Well, of course. I mean, I don't want to name specific names, but of course we work on a number of causes, both liberal and conservative, but always on the side of common sense.
Okay, to
right?
pay,
So
you've worked with, so let me get this straight. You have been paid by far-left groups to recruit protesters to go up against the Trump administration. Is that right?
Personally, we don't like to work with far anything. We don't like to do far left, and we don't like
are they left wing?
Right.
Are they left wing groups that you've worked with to recruit for their demonstrations and protests against Trump?
Well, as I said, we declined this particular matter because we frankly felt that it wasn't going to be effective. Now,
it sounds like
it was.
Okay.
Now, what I would say here, Elizabeth, is that I don't necessarily decline the idea of protests in general that might counter the Trump administration, but it has to be done respectfully, it has to be done with nuance, and it has to be done with persuasion.
Wait, isn't this kind of fishy? Isn't this kind of sketchy to pay people to protest and recruit people to protest against any White House because it looks fake and phony? America has been seeing these protests nationwide. Now people are going to say this is just astroturf, phony stuff, Adam.
Well, Elizabeth, I would have to respectfully disagree with you, because at Crowds on Demand, and I can only speak for us, we only hire people who are actually passionate about the causes.
Who do you hire? Who are these people?
These are activists who are interested in the cause they espouse. So, by the way, if it's a conservative cause, we have conservative activists, and many conservative
let me back up.
activists really.
I hear what you're saying. Are you hiring and recruiting Antifa rioters and protesters?
Absolutely not. That's illegal.
Okay.
We do not engage in any form of illegal activity, right? So that includes illegal protests, which I don't even consider.
Have you heard of people who do? Have you heard of people who do hire, who do pay Antifa?
Of course, there are people who do that, and there are people you've probably never heard of because they're in the shadows, right? So the people that you should direct your vitriol on are not people like me who are out there running a publicity firm that does creative, satirical, interesting kind of displays. It's people who operate in the shadows.
Adam, I'm so sorry you feel like this is vitriolic. We're just trying to get to the bottom of what is a surprising paid-to-protest movement and push here. So is George Soros's group, again, are they involved in paying Antifa? Have you heard that?
Well, look, I don't want to speculate on who may or may not, but I certainly believe that many of the violent rioters are being compensated. How do we know? Number one, tactical gear. There have been number of videos that have shown tactical gear. By the way, that's not cheap, being distributed on the streets of Los Angeles. There are professional signs. There are buses. There are legal services provided at no charge when people do break the law and are arrested, right? These things are not free, so somebody is funding it. So it would be very irresponsible for me to name specific names without evidence, though I won't do that on your program. But what I will say is there are interests, and it's important that people follow the money, because what a lot of these very well-heeled interests, including foreign countries, do is they try to create distance and plausible deniability between themselves and the person throwing the Molotov cocktail, the person breaking the windows, and the person obstructing law enforcement. And Crowds on Demand does not associate with any of those.
Right. Okay.
It wouldn't behoove me as a business person, even if I had no moral qualms at all with it. It wouldn't behoove me as a business person to take on those.
How do you find these people to recruit them? Who are they?
Well, Crowds on Demand has been in business for 13 years, so we have a large network of people across the political spectrum and across this country who are passionate about different subjects, right? So we know who they are, and in some cases we'll reach out to people. Okay. For example, if we were doing an environmental display, we'd reach out to environmental groups. If it was a pro-business group, we have a lot of people who are kind of anti-government, kind of anti-tax type activists there, right? So all kinds of people across the country want to have their voices heard, but unfortunately, because it's so expensive in this country with inflation, a lot of people don't have the opportunity to have their voices heard unless they're compensated to do that, and Crowds on Demand facilitates that.
Got it. Adam Swart, thanks for joining us from Crowds on Demand. Appreciate you so much. Now to this.
Thank you.